Well, we're on the Lincolnshire coast, so this is Rimac National Nature Reserve, and this is a new fieldwork location for us because usually we go and we study the Holderness coastline. So we decided to do something different because when I questioned the students at school, most of them had already been to the East Yorkshire coast. So we crossed over the river and it's a completely different coastline. So our coastline's famous for being a coastline of erosion, and this is a depositional coastline. So it's really, really good for the students to get some contrast.
So far we've taken our wind speed readings using an anemometer where you just stick it out at arm's length and take 3 readings and find an overall mean. We've done our distance along a transect to find different soil content in the different pioneer species that we'll find along and find a percentage across a quadrat. And then just at the minute we're going to do our infiltration rates where you basically hammer a cylindrical tube into the ground and then measure how quickly it drops over a 60-second period, and then we'll compare it to the 5 other readings we'll get as we go further along the salt marsh.
Our experience of the new A-level is that the individual investigation, the data collection has to be thorough. If it isn't thorough, they lose a significant amount of marks, and so the students need to be made aware that when they do their own work, it has to be thorough, accurate, intense, and that's what we're trying to show here. They won't get everything done here, but they've been exposed to 7, 8 different techniques. We don't want them coming on an individual study and doing 2 techniques because they won't score the marks that they need, and they won't get a full picture of the environment anyway.
So when we get back to the classroom, hopefully with all the groups for geography, you can compare them all, create some averages, and then actually compare it to our null hypothesis that we made for our practice coursework that we'll do next year. And then hopefully we can either conclude that the null hypothesis we made were correct, or in looking back at it, we can say, no, actually, in practicality, we were wrong, and this is why, and hopefully explain it with the results.
It's our third trip, so it's giving them some ideas of what they can do. So at school they've probably been to the Holderness coastline and they know that they can study all different parts of erosion. They know that they can come to salt marshes and it gives them some idea of how to study deposition. But they have also done human geography topics where we've visited local areas, and we've also looked at river systems in Pickering. So it's just really to give them some ideas to help them decide what they're going to do for their individual investigations, because it has to be individual to them. They all have to choose something different.